G'day guys, welcome back to Roadside, presented by Zwift. We are here for day 5 of our FE Sports Daily Show. It could be 4, I've actually forgotten, but look at the location, Tommy. We are right where the podiums are, the prime posse with the City of Lights behind us.
Yeah, you can actually spot Baz just down there. He's probably slaving away on the tools, mate. He doesn't stop that bloke. Our glorious leader of this Perth City. Look, what a day, Jethro.
Mate.
What is it? Yeah, day 4? Day 5?
Must be. Doesn't matter. Road races
anyway.
on Saturday, mate. That's where we are.
So good.
We just had the presentation for the U23 men right here. They've cleared everything out.
We kicked
them
out. We said we got a pod to do.
And this in Kings Park, by the way, this is where we are for the road races. This is one of probably the most visited place in Western Australia, and the road race went through here. And this location is like the mecca for all the tourists rolling in and taking photos. So we've just fully taken over this whole place. There's people eating ice creams, wanting to take pictures. But no, Roadside, presented by Zwift, takes the ownership.
Yes, FE Sports, they said, we'll give you the platform for the day, and they've provided. It's great having them on board. Mate, how was your day, quickly, before we get into the nitty-gritty? You were there, you've been on the stage, the start-finish line on Fraser Ave, just overlooking this beautiful backdrop, about a couple of 100 metres from over there.
Yeah.
How was your day, working alongside Katie Bates, Matty Pointer?
Yeah, great day in the commentary booth. It was very exciting. Love the road races. It's perfect because you get a little bit of time to breathe and you can reset and add the energy. We really loved the racing. It was exciting. The view, we're literally staring at that all day. It was super special when, Ballarat, across the road from where you commentate there, it's a servo. So there's definitely, there's a little bit nicer things to look at. I did actually it's kind of funny, I did get stitched up in the last presentations we did. So the presentations have a schedule. It was 5 p.m. for the Prezos for under 23 men, the final one of the day.
Yep.
Right? Now, because
long day.
Long
Everyone's
day.
been on the tools.
The race
Everyone's
finished,
worked hard.
Yeah, the race finished early with our winner, who we'll talk about in the men's. So it's got to go to TV. This is broadcasted. Now, when it comes to the TV schedule, we've got to go to them. So I roll in for the presentation. We've got all the riders. We've got the medals, the jerseys. Craig Bingham from CEO of Oz Cycling. The TV cameras are there ready to go. And I rock up. There's no sound on the audio machine. So all the crowd here waiting to hear me do the presentations, I can't hear anything. There's no sound. And the TV...
I did have a little chuckle,
Oh,
hey. I
got
was watching
stitched
you
up.
and I thought, they've rinsed you.
And the
here,
the TV broadcast, they don't care because the cameras pick up the audio. But for everyone else, they must be thinking, mate, your mic's not on. So it kind of rattled me a bit, but I did try and hold myself together. I just lost a bit of pizzazz at the end. But it was funny and it was a great day. And we had some amazing racing. But
It was.
before we get stuck into everything, make sure you subscribe to us on the YouTube. For those watching, look at the effort we go to get this set up. This is a stolen
All these tourists,
place
we've just
here.
kicked them out. We've said,
Oh.
clear the platform.
Tommy's got a
FE
radio
Sports
interview
here.
in 20 minutes. We're
I've
hustling
been doing
to
a
get
few
it done.
crosses today. Been on the tools.
Um,
I've been riding around doing them while I've been on the cross.
Yeah.
And pretty special riding through Kings Park, where it's been so closed off from cars. Very unique.
Beautiful.
And that's for the under 23. Any Perthonian listening, worth their salt, get down here tomorrow for the elite.
Absolutely.
Bring your bike and ride around.
Don't
It's
forget
sensational.
also the YouTube, not only YouTube, but on podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, all of them. Make sure you subscribe. Then you get the Daily Show right in the feed. And at the Press Room Podcast on Instagram, plenty of people have been sending in things. And I've got a couple of snippets to share.
What have you got? This never ends well for me.
I know. We'll get into the results. But first, we asked yesterday who was a rider, if there was any, who had done the treble of the TT, the Criterium, and the road race at Road Nationals, because
Yeah, of
Amelie
course.
Sanders was staring down the barrel of the triple, having won both races the last few days. And who messaged in saying that it was them?
Oh, you want me to get? Mate,
No,
I'll be
no.
guessing into the abyss.
I would-
Not Brody Chapman, Grass Brown.
Not a bad shout. Similar teams back in the day.
It's gotta be a time
2018, it was...
Oh, I reckon I know what it is.
The OG TPR fan, Sarah Gigante. She did it under the Holden Gusto Racing team in 2018. She won all 3. So she said she reckons she is the only one, but it's good to see when people, and of course OGs like Sarah G flying in and giving us the mail.
She's great. Yeah, we love the mailbag. Sarah Gigante, you're a legend of the game. We miss you. We wish you were here.
Legend.
See you at the next one.
Big things to come. Now, another bit of mail I got as well is the Fondo tomorrow, which is at 6 a.m., is sold out, 750 riders.
Yes, it is.
One of them, for the second year in a row, is Valtteri Bottas. He's back for the
Brilliant.
Fondo.
Brilliant. We love the man. Is he starting in Speedos?
Oh, he might be starting in the budgie smugglers.
Yeah, you'd know more than me, mate. Come on, deliberate.
Well, an interesting thing about last year is I was wondering why he is riding the Fondo, because he was staring down the barrel of a full F1 season, and what it's like, the Fondo riders. There is a few, there's some hooked bars going on. There's shady racing techniques. He, in the Ballarat course last year, the final, he was in a 3-up sprint down the downhill Buninyong finish, and he had one punter on the left and one punter on the right. They were side by side, and Valtteri was in the middle. Imagine if they went down in the sprint. He had a race in 1 month's time. He gets paid €25 million a year, and that could have been out the wazoo for a Fondo.
Would have been a front page scoop for the Buninyong Bugle, wouldn't it, mate? It would have been brilliant. But no, we love the competitive nature of Valtteri Bottas. I was talking that up on radio earlier, and I was saying the big man's going to be there. So
good to see him. We saw him and Tiff. They were riding around, so great to have them
here.
Tommy, it's time. This is the Roadside FE Sports Daily Show. We'll get stuck into the results after this. So we had our men's under-19 kick off the action, and the first thing that I want to mention was one thing I believe everyone has underestimated up until now was the humidity and the heat on the course. It was only 28, 29 degrees today, no clouds, but it was humid, and in the sunlight, it was cooking.
It was steaming. As I'm riding around the course, I was noticeably just getting parched. I had a couple of bottles with me, and I was going through them, and I'm just rolling around. And I went through the feed zone a couple of times, Jet, and there was a lot of desperation in the feed zone today. There were riders in the latter stages of under-23, under-19 men and women who, if they missed a bottle for a lap or two, 2 laps later down the track, they were ejected. They were done. That was their day done. So support staff was critical. Feeding was critical today.
Well, it showed in the first 2 laps of the U19 men's, because they went out like a cannon, and by the second lap they came around, all the jerseys were undone. They were doing bottle drops on the head. They already had the ice stockings. I think they really didn't realise how hard it was. But in the end, it came down to a group of around 6 riders contesting the finish. It was an elimination, Tom. Every lap, more and more riders got eliminated, and it was ARA, Skip Capital, who were the dominators again.
Unsurprisingly, they dominated the criterium last night. They had a strong show of force, so to see how they've taken that confidence into today, a bit of self-belief, it's so vital. And it seemed every time at the bottom of the terrace, William Street, at the bottom of the climb, they were just there. They were always present in the moves. They were very well organised. But the communication between them, I'm really impressed. There was a lot of moves when they were going, and then one was always there. And if one wasn't, it was the one at the back who was just jumping around and bridging across, making sure they had representation. Very impressed. And of course, unsurprising, there's a big name who was right up there.
Well, Fletcher Medway, I was about to say Jackson, the younger brother Fletcher, rode an incredible race. He bridged across to the winning breakaway by himself, and then once he got there was about 3 or 4 laps to go, he was driving it, and he did all the damage, and he brought it down to a battle of 2 ARA versus himself, and in the end, it was Alex Hughes. He went bang with the lead out and got the victory with Jonas Shelverton, who was in the early break of the day and stayed there the whole day and led out Alex Hughes to victory over Fletcher Medway, who just got another 3rd medal.
Easy as you like. Great way to start off today's racing, wasn't it, mate? It really was. It set the bar high, and the under-19 women, they delivered as well, didn't they?
They did. They started 2 minutes after the under-19 men, so we had both races on course at the same time, and that was fantastic because you really had lots to watch every sort of 15 minutes.
It was good for that. That is actually something I wanted to touch on as well. That was brilliant. I was a huge fan of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm just smelling someone smoking a dart, so there it is, the old boy over there. He's just punching a Winnie Red. And there's some of the riders there. That's Will Holmes. He's raced, and he's sprinting Oscar Gallagher to the line. They finished, and they're sprinting because the finish line's still set up. That's hilarious.
Oh, that young man, who you said, Oscar. Yeah. As I was coming up the last lap, he made some very interesting remark about how rear-ended he is on the last lap of the climb. I won't say it now for the profanities that came through, but He said it with a smile on his face, though. So
what a legend. So back to the U19 women's. He is a legend, a feral competitor. It was a race of a bit slower. This race was a bit more subdued, the under-19 women.
It was a little bit, yeah.
And we were looking for Amelie Sanders. She was going for the treble, racing for ARA. And in the end, it came down to a group that slowly got whittled down over 6 laps, Tom. And we had 9 riders in there, and I think maybe 4 ARA Skip Capital.
Yeah, they had the numbers on their side, didn't they? ARA, look, at the start of the year, or late last year, they announced they were going to be purely an under-19 development team.
Yep.
And, geez, they copped a bit of flack because they left a few people hanging without a contract, but they've really steered into this. And it seems like they've really given a lot of resources to their teams and these riders, and results are showing already.
Results are showing, absolutely. They're really dominating that category. Now, it came down to a bunch sprint of around about 4 riders in the end of that top 9 once they let it out over the top. And how about this? Amelie Sanders was there, Ruby Taylor was there, Liana Vandenberg was there, and Anna Dubier was there. And Amelie Sanders, she led out her teammate, Anna Dubier, who got the chocolates. We spoke about Anna, and she's finally got it done. And Amelie, the teamwork, she could have, tried to win that herself.
Yep.
But she did the team effort and led out Anna Dubier.
Yeah, we love that. We love sharing it around here, don't we? In Perth, the City of Lights, we do. I think that's the way to do it. Look, she got the chocolates. Sanders, she was in second. And then Lani Vandenberg, she rounded out the podium in third from Norwood Cycling Club. She was right up there on the criterium the other night, wasn't she,
Ruby
as well?
Taylor, she was on the podium,
yes.
So good ride from her. India Coupland, we must mention one of the Coupland, the youngest of the Coupland Talent Factory. She was 18th, only 28 seconds back from the Famali group as a first year in her first nationals on a very selective course where many riders in this bunch were DNF'd. That actually shows me really good signs.
Yeah, really good promise. You always take note as well, don't you? Like you just said, who's stepping up from under 19 into under 23.
And your first ride.
And who is competing at that level. And they're the riders, if they can make it in that next age category, they're the riders that teams go, this person, this kid has a bit of package, has the prowess to maybe go on and keep going and have a career.
Speaking of package, Zwift, they are the esports package. If you're riding on that, don't give me that My Whoosh stuff. I don't want to see that rubbish. Nobody's on it. It's all about Zwift. The Zwift Tour Down Under party
That's going to be
is
a doozy.
on Tuesday, the 21st of January. I said 5 and 6 p.m. yesterday. I was just getting all mixed up. Just put down the 21st of January, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Map and Specialise will be involved. Mitch Docker will be there for a Q&A, the great man. And we'll have the Zwift Rides there to do the racing on there so you can experience. You need to get on it, mate, and try it out.
Oh, I don't know, mate. I'd be struggling to push 200 at the moment, mate. I was absolutely rolling around. Maybe I might do. I'll find a few.
You can be an E-grade with me, mate.
Okay.
2 in a row, though.
E-grade.
Smoke ya.
We will see about that.
We've got the under-23 men's after this. Under-23 men's was the final hurrah here on Saturday in the city of Perth. And this race was really, I think, a curtain raiser and a bit of an eye-opener for the elites and under-23 women tomorrow because it showed just how hard the course is.
Yeah, it certainly did. It highlighted every little bit of difficult technical aspect of the course.
Yep.
And it made you pay if you weren't good at it, didn't it?
It certainly did, and it was just a race of attrition. Riders after riders, 77 starters were just getting ejected. There were groups forming, groups stuck in the middle, riders going through groups. Lots of attacks through Kings Park on the hot mix. It's on tempered chocolate out there right now, and I think the big move and the big moves that all the riders were, where they were going, it was the Pedal Mafia KQOM. That was where a lot of the damage was being done, and you were there.
Yeah, I was on the side there. I was taking it all in. It was so interesting to see riders come down Mounts Bay, and today was pure Perthonian weather by the time the under-23 men started. The sea breeze slowly simmered in. It kicked in. At the moment, we've probably got a 20-knot sea breeze here, and it's slowly starting to cool down. But earlier, it was hot, and the sun was really biting. And on the climb, the wind really funnels down this climb into St. George's Terrace. So it can be really, really difficult, and it can be a block headwind.
What did the JC driver say to us after about the wind?
He said the wind actually made the climb so much harder. He said it was way more difficult considering with the wind rather than just the climb. He just said it made the race.
We thought the headwind would maybe make
nullify
the climb,
it, maybe?
and make it a negative climb, maybe have them bunched up. Oh, no. Carter said it made it even harder. So eyes were opened, and I know the riders, the elites, would have been watching. Luke Platt was on the finish line waiting for Fergus
White
Browning.
was down there at the top of the feed zone for a considerable amount of time.
Hope he wasn't on the radio.
He was taking it all in, and he was taking stock of the situation. So they'll be playing their cards in, I dare say, an aggressive manner, and he will have scouted out every corner. I was at Crash Corner.
Okay.
I want to call it Crash Corner. It was the corner as they go down onto Mounts Bay. Very interesting aspect of the course down there as they came onto Mounts Bay.
Yep, that's the big turn to take them onto this road here.
And it's this steep little off-camber corner. Can't wait to see what the big bunch looks like when they go through there tomorrow.
Absolutely. Now, the under-23 race, we had an early breakaway of 3 riders, and as the race progressed, that became 14. And Cash Body Wrap had 3 riders in there, and then they had Jack Dola, the JC driver, and the big favourite with the number 1 bib.
Browning.
Yeah, Fergus Browning, the defending champ, back in the peloton. And I was thinking, again, Cachet Body Wrap, great aggression, great team plan, but from the very get-go, it didn't look like they had the winner in that group. Ether was there. He was struggling towards the end for doing some work, but I thought great controlling the race, but they needed one of those 3 in that breakaway, and it got out the gap with 6 laps to go, or 6 laps in, to 2 minutes 45, Tom.
Yeah, you could see they weren't happy with the deck that they had stacked up. They weren't happy with it at all. And by the time they were coming up May Drive, Lovekin rather, every lap and every time, they were not contributing to this pace in the breakaway.
Yeah, sitting at the back.
Initially, they helped establish it, and then I think they realised, we're in a little bit of trouble here. We're going to have to try and linger and try and bring this back. But the gap just kept going out, didn't it?
It did. It went out and out to 2:45, and then we started seeing the breakaway of 14 riders by that point, including the WA road champion Matthew Conan. Nate Haddon was in there. There was Julian Baudry was there in the race. We also had Will Heath. He was the Cachet Body Wrap rider. Levi Hone was there. Jack Clark, the sassy rider. They started to break apart, and then on the broadcast, Cachet Body Wrap, they went up to the riders in the team car in the breakaway. They talked to Heath and Heffernan, who was there, and I think they found out they weren't going so good. And that was when Fergus Browning launched with JC driver, Zach Marriage. And Will Holmes, who were all in the peloton of what was left of it.
Yep, absolutely. And when they went, JC driver, off the record, when he came over here, he was in the shadow realm. He said, that's the most watts I've ever had to do to just follow the wheel for a couple of minutes. So when Marriage went and then Browning, his teammates gone, he's just battling to get in the mix to see if he can help out Browning. That's the difference between a big sprint dog to, say, a climber.
That's right.
So Browning, he followed Marriage. And then after that, it was just the race sort of slowly started to piece itself back together from the front to the rear.
And once in the final 3 laps to go, Browning went solo. He had 51 seconds to the breakaway, which was falling apart. And that was when our leader, Julian Baudry, attacked. He attacked the breakaway. He was in there all day, the man from Alpine Cycling Club.
Yes.
He attacked. He got a big gap. And as Browning got closer and closer and chewed through all the groups and got himself into second position, ran out of time, and Julian Baudry was just too strong.
He was very impressive. Every time I saw him come up the climb, he rode the climb within himself. He was just composed on the bike, and he looks really comfortable. Even his breathing, as you could hear him coming up the climb, very measured effort. But most noticeably, Jet, I heard him say this, and it sort of confirmed what I was thinking after seeing him around the course. He was really aggressive through a lot of corners. Those hard technical parts of the course down the bottom near the river, he was making a lot of riders pay through every corner. Yep. And he actually spoke to a few handful of journos here afterwards, and he said, I felt so comfortable through the corners. I just felt like I had the legs, I had the wits as well, and he reckoned he just eked out, and that helped him at least with the morale as well, to go, I'm not slowing down on this course anywhere. I've just got to ride my own tempo and back myself. And that's exactly what he did.
He came across the line. It was the last lap time trial battle between Baudry and Browning. But unfortunately for Browning, he made up so much ground. they just made it too hard for him by letting that gap go out to 2:45 when everyone was looking at Marriage and Holmes to chase. And this is
such an impressive ride by Browning.
It was a huge ride from Browning. He was very upset he didn't get the chocks. He was shaking his head after, and in fact his solo can is still there by the seat, just sitting there, just lonely, isn't it? And I think there's an old glove. That must be Nate Haddon's glove. Yuck. It's salty and all shriveled up. But
some bloke in Belgium would mind that, I think. Some collector.
How about this? This is the under-23 road race. He's 18 years old, mate.
That is the most incredible thing about this win. This
bottom
man
major.
has another 3 or 4 years in this category. I'm amazed at what he's done today and produced in terms of just raw numbers and power, but also the composure, like we've spoken of. This could just be, on this course, it obviously suits him to a T. He could just come back and rinse and repeat for the next 2 years.
Absolutely crazy, yeah. It was a huge ride, and guess who he's coached by, Tommy? Someone who loves a long, hard bike race, an Australian classic bike race
Mark
too.
O'Brien?
Always in form. Mark O'Brien.
The
Melbourne
evergreen.
Warrnambool, Mark O'Brien doing the coaching, and I think Mark O'Brien makes quite a lot of money with his coaches, so he
I was
must
on
be
his books at
very
one point.
good. Where are you? What happened?
I was probably on the negative
He's a
side
good
of his
coach,
books.
mate. What happened to you? That's a shame. Back to E-grade. That's really good. He was on the phone to Marco. He was on the phone, straight on the call. So I think they're 16 hours behind Melbourne. So that's an interesting phone call, getting up late at night, Marco. But
there's a few profanities shared and a lot of love language as well on that conversation. Everyone heard it.
A lot of I love Perth.
Yes, a lot of that. Marco, and speaking of it, I wanted to see him on the start list for this year. So Marco,
he would have loved this course. But nevertheless, another little nugget of information. Guess what team our man Julian Baudry is riding for next
Your mob.
year?
Your mob, I dare say.
Team Brennan. He will be a part of the South Australian setup that we teased and that are up and about. So, yeah.
What a way to start the year off as well for them.
Oh.
As a team who have come out and clearly stated, we are a team that is going to be putting riders up to the World Tour. That's going to be our sole basis. They have just found a young man who's come, claimed the under-23 championships as an 18-year-old.
In his club jersey for Alpine CC.
Yep.
Simply amazing. Now,
Phenomenal.
Browning finished second, and Jack Clark, who was also in the breakaway of the day, he actually looked the freshest, I would say, of the break of the rest of them, and he got third place from Sassy. And then we had Levi Hone, Dylan Proctor-Parker. He was also in the breakaway.
He was very active earlier, Proctor-Parker. He was having a run of things earlier as well.
He was very good. Nate Haddon got most aggressive. Will Heath, Jezza Smith got in there for WA.
Yes.
Jack Warg and Will Holmes for 10th. So an amazing race. It's set up tomorrow for Super Sunday. And, it's just going to be amazing. And, Tommy, I forgot, our FE Sports Roadside Champion Awards.
Of course,
It's much harder to have a look at what glasses they're wearing.
What do you mean? You've seen him come through the course every lap,
They go through so quickly. So I think you and I are going to have to go through the results, go through the riders, and we're just going to have to pick the riders who we think deserve a pair of speed class. We'll pick one woman and one male.
Okay.
But good thing for us is that Max Gould, he found us, and I
did he?
found him. I didn't bring the wearer tools, but I got his address.
You didn't bring him?
I got his address. He came up to me because he got fined. He got fined 2 UCI points and 50 Swiss francs because he didn't sign on.
That's his own fault.
He was wondering how to pay it, and I asked Louise Jones, the commissaire. She goes, "You'll get an invoice." I'm like, as if you're paying that. 50 Swiss francs. What is that? $1?
No, Swiss francs, my friend. That'll
That's
be very
Australian
expensive.
dollars. No,
Yes, it will.
I look it up.
Swiss
Who's
francs,
right?
mate.
I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Pull your head out of the gutter. Look, that's very funny. I like that. Good man. He's chased you up for the tools. You've probably put them on Marketplace, try to flog them or something.
He said he listens too, but he was asking me about the Swiss francs, but I know you just wanted those bloody tools. So we'll send you to him, and we'll also send the tools to Zach Marriage as well. We've got the under-23 women's and elite tomorrow and the men's elite. We'll do our mortgage picks after this because it's Roadside presented by Zwift. Quick one.
Yep. Oh, and we'll talk up the hill. You and me on the hill.
Okay, we've got our final segment. We're taking our big picks for Super Sunday tomorrow. And the great news is for everyone down here is that you and I, Tommy, will be commentating on the mountain. So away from the stage, we'll be at the party zone. I cannot wait.
Yeah, we're going to be king on the hill, queen on the hill. We'll be there yammering away. Come and give us some unsolicited advice. Come and help us do our jobs. I
Flick money at us. 50s only.
Yes, 50 cents. I'll take them any way they come, mate. They'll all add up at the end of the day. Now, come and have a beer with us, honestly.
Yeah.
It'll be so good.
Absolutely. I got work at 5 a.m. on Monday morning, but I'd still love a frother. Now, quick question, yes or no?
Yep.
We don't have too much time here. Sam Welsford, can he get over the hill?
Yes, of course. I've said it for so long. You think he can't?
I don't think he can. I wish he could, but I don't think he can.
Welsford, he'll be listening to this while he's kicked back in the hotel playing a bit of Fortnite, mate, and he will say, Jet, you are wrong, Tom. You're right.
Women's Elite, we're going to pick our winners. Ruby's the big favourite. Could there be a smoky get up against Jayco?
Alex Manley. She, I dare say, is going to be the one to challenge. She's got her teammate, of course, the bodyguard, Anya Lowe. They're going to be a formidable duo tomorrow as well.
They're going to have to team up with Lidl Trek because if we are, it's a risk of seeing what we saw in the Criterium happen again on Sunday.
Who wins?
Who wins? I think we stick with our original pick, Alex Manley.
Yeah. I'll have to back that in.
Under 23, first across the line. Hard to go past.
Mackenzie Copeland, I think, she's on song at the moment, but she might be on duties as well for Jayco Alula.
I think so.
Because they're going to be shy on a few numbers, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jess Allen says, Stowe personal ambition, we're going for the elite.
It's going to be close. I like Talia Appleton for me for this one. Looking forward to seeing how she goes for Praties. And Pat Shaw says hello as well. I wonder, Big Paddy, of course, the man that looks after the team Praties. He's got cricket today. He's made 54, duck, 54, duck. I wonder if he made a 50 today.
Is that what you've been doing today, just checking Pat Shaw's cricket score?
I'm all over everything, mate. But this is a good episode. What about the back room, Tommy?
Yeah, it's been good. Now, you haven't given me a pick for the men.
Oh, the men.
Come on. Yes. Who wins the men?
We know. My head says Brady Gilmore, the boy from Kalgoorlie, but my heart says Plappy, 4-time winner. It's a tough one, but I'm leaning towards Brady. I just think there's something about this course that suits him the most out of any rider. And you?
I'm going to go Welsford, the Wombat. He's going to do the double.
Over the hill,
I think he gets over the hill. I think he's got the strength, the patience. And I think he's got the angle to just turn around and say, I'm a big boy. I'm just going to follow the wheels. If I end up in the right position, I'm going to have a win. But I will also, my next best bet, I'm going to throw down as well. I'm going to throw a broader scope as well as O'Brien. Kel O'Brien, he has not come here just to roll around. He, I think, could be a national champion as well.
Beautiful. Good way to pick two riders, Tommy.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll wrap it up on that, hey?
Okay, thanks, guys, for listening. This is Roadside, presented by Zwift for the FE Sports Daily Show.